Am I the a-hole for selling the house after my son kicked me out because I'm old and sick? Before we got to the story, I plan to give away 100 USD to whoever has the best opinion regarding this matter. So stay tuned, and I'll announce the winner in the few next videos. You only have to post your opinion on the comment below and consider to like and subscribe so that you'll not miss the announcement and many other future giveaway. Thanks, and back to the story. I'm 72 years old widow. Never thought I'd be writing a post like this. I've always believed in family and thought my children would take care of me in my old age, just as I cared for them. How wrong I was. Some background. I've been a widow for 15 years. My husband and I worked hard all our lives to provide for our two children, Mark, 45M, and Sarah, 42F. We managed to buy a modest 3-bedroom house in a nice neighborhood, which I've been living in alone since my husband passed. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. It's been progressing faster than the doctors initially thought, and I've been struggling with daily tasks. I talked to my children about my condition, hoping for their support. Sarah lives in another state with her family and can't help much due to the distance. Mark, however, lives just 20 minutes away with his wife and 2 teenage kids. He initially offered to have me move in with them, which I was grateful for. However, things quickly went downhill after I moved in. Mark and his wife, Linda, seemed annoyed by my presence. They complained about having to help me with basic tasks and said I was disrupting their family life. Their kids were kind to me, but I could see the strain my presence was putting on everyone. After just 2 months, Mark sat me down for a talk. He said it wasn't working out and that they couldn't handle the stress of caring for me. He suggested I move to a nursing home, saying it would be better for everyone. I was heartbroken and felt betrayed. I asked if I could move back into my house, but Mark had already rented it out, saying the extra income would help pay for my care. I felt like I had no choice but to agree to the nursing home. Mark helped me find one and moved me in, promising to visit regularly. However, the visits became less and less frequent. Mark always had excuses. Work was busy, the kids had activities, Linda wasn't feeling well. I was lonely and miserable in the nursing home. Care was adequate, but it wasn't home. After 3 months of this, I decided I'd had enough. I contacted a lawyer friend who confirmed that the house was still in my name. Mark had been collecting rent without my explicit permission. My lawyer helped me evict the tenants and move back into my house. When Mark found out, he was furious. He accused me of being selfish and ungrateful. He said I couldn't live alone with my condition and that I was being stubborn and difficult. I stood my ground, saying I'd rather struggle on my own than be warehoused and forgotten. This led to a huge argument where Mark said some truly hurtful things. He called me a burden and said he wished I had died instead of his father. He stormed out, saying he was done with me and that I was no longer welcome in his life. I was devastated, but also angry. I realized that Mark had been counting on inheriting the house after I passed. So I made a decision that I knew would be controversial. I decided to sell the house. I contacted a real estate agent and put the house on the market. It sold quickly, as it's in a desirable area. I used part of the money to rent a small, accessible apartment and invested the rest to supplement my Social Security income. When Mark found out, he was livid. He accused me of stealing his inheritance and destroying the family legacy. He said I had no right to sell the house that he grew up in and that I was being spiteful. I told him that the house was mine to do with as I pleased and that his actions had consequences. I said that if he had treated me with love and respect, things might have been different. But he had made it clear that he saw me as a burden, not a mother. Sarah, who had been mostly uninvolved until now, is torn. She understands my decision but is upset about losing the family home. He's trying to mediate between Mark and me, but so far it's not going well. Extended family and friends are divided. Some think I did the right thing, saying Mark doesn't deserve an inheritance after how he treated me. Others think I overreacted and that I'm punishing my grandchildren for their father's actions. I'm standing firm in my decision. I can't help wondering if I went too far. The money from the sale will ensure I can live comfortably and get the care I need without relying on my children. but I know I've likely permanently damaged my relationship with Mark, possibly with my grandchildren. So, YouTube, am I the a-hole for selling the house after my son kicked me out because I'm old and sick? Edit. Thank you all for your responses. I'll try to address some common questions. Regarding my daughter Sarah, she lives across the country and has 3 young children, including one with special needs. It's not feasible for her to care for me directly. About my grandchildren, I've tried to maintain a relationship with them, but Mark and Linda have been limiting contact since our falling out. On my current living situation, I'm in an assisted living apartment where I have my own space, but can get help when needed. It's working out well so far. Regarding my health, my Parkinson's is progressing. With proper care and medication, I'm managing. I'm much happier and less stressed now that I'm out of the nursing home. About the house sale, yes, it was legally entirely mine to sell. My late husband and I had wills leaving everything to each other, and then to our children after we were both gone. But we never made any promises about specific inheritances. Many of you have suggested therapy, both for me and to try to repair the relationship with Mark. I'm open to this and will look into options. To those saying I'm punishing my grandchildren, that was never my intent. I'm setting aside some money for their education, regardless of my relationship with their parent. For those asking about power of attorney and elder care laws, I've consulted with an elder law attorney to ensure all my affairs are in order and my wishes will be respected if my condition worsens. Thank you all for your support and advice. This has been a difficult time, and your perspectives have been helpful. I'll update if there are any significant developments. Update. It's been about 2 months since my original post, and I wanted to give you all an update on the situation. First, thank you all for your support and advice. It's been a challenging time, and your comments have been a source of strength. Regarding Mark, unfortunately there hasn't been much improvement. He's still angry about the house sale and refuses to speak to me directly. He's been telling family members that I'm mentally incompetent and that he's considering legal action. My lawyer assures me he has no case, but it's still hurtful. Sarah has been more understanding. She visited me last month and saw firsthand that I'm doing well in my new living situation. She's been trying to mediate between Mark and me, but so far, without much success. My grandchildren, I've managed to maintain some contact with Mark's children through social media, though it's limited. They seem to understand the situation better than their father does. I've made it clear to them that my door is always open. My living situation, the assisted living apartment, is working out wonderfully. I have my independence, but help is available when I need it. I've made some friends here and am even participating in some social activities. My health, my Parkinson's is stable for now. The reduced stress from my living situation seems to be helping. I'm following my treatment plan and staying as active as I can. Financial matters. The proceeds from the house sale, combined with my Social Security and pension, are more than enough to cover my living expenses and healthcare costs. I've set up a trust for my grandchildren's education, which will be administered independently of their parents. Therapy. I've started seeing a therapist to help process everything that's happened. It's been helpful in dealing with my feelings of guilt and anger. Legal matters. I've updated my will and advanced healthcare directive. I've also given Sarah power of attorney in case my condition worsens. Everything has been done with the guidance of my elder law attorney. Community response. Many of my old neighbors and friends have been supportive. Some have even come to visit me in my new place. It's been heartening to know that I have a support network beyond my immediate family. Reflections. While I still stand by my decision to sell the house, I do sometimes miss it. However, the peace of mind and independence I have now are worth far more than bricks and mortar. This experience has taught me a lot about setting boundaries, even with family. It's been painful, but I believe it was necessary for my well-being. Thank you all again for your support. While my relationship with Mark remains strained, I'm hopeful that time might heal some wounds. For now, I'm focusing on my health, my relationships with those who do support me, and making the most of each day.